This is Sensei Nick. This is I think this is almost about my 9th year of doing webinars for Champions Way. We're going to make this one quick. We're going to make this one, pretty action-packed, some really good content, and then hopefully you can take some takeaways and implement them into your school. Just remember a couple key things whenever you're going to webinars or listening to consultants, gurus, experts, whatever everybody calls themselves. Realize that your school is always going to be different, and you have to take things with a grain of salt and adapt accordingly to your demographic in your area. Not everything works, in certain areas. Some people will come out with crazy prices and tell you to do this and tell you to do that, but just make sure whenever you go to any of these types of webinars or conferences, seminars, just do what you feel is good in your area. Don't take everything so literally. So what we're going to do is go right into it, and at the end we'll take some questions. We have a couple cool documents from Mr. Mershad and as well as Mike Vacca that they can give you, and we'll email to you later. Shada will get your email address if you're interested in some of the material. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to break this up into a couple different categories. I'm going to be going first over some of the things I'm doing for back to school. If you've been to some of my meetings recently, it's some of the same content. And then basically I'll turn it over to Shihan Mike, and then I'll also review Shihan Vacca's information as well. So let's go into it. So the first thing is, everybody's already on Facebook, and everybody's on social media, and everyone's knows that already. But if you're not using hashtags, I'm going to talk about that a little bit today. And if you would like to give us a shout out to myself or Mr. Mershad or Seaway, those are our hashtags. So if you went on the Facebook and you put on there something along the lines, if you'd like the content, great webinar, Sensei Nick, well, put in there great webinar and then # Sensei Nick, or # Seaway. Seaway webinars rock. ULMA headquarters, that's for Michael Mershad. And then basically, that's a way to give us a shout out, and I'm going to explain to you a little bit today on how that can help your brand as well. So that's just a little information before you get started. So the takeaways, I'm going to go first, then Shihan Vacca will be going after Mr. Mershad, but I'll be reviewing his content. So the first things I want to go over today is the review of hashtags. A lot of people, it's actually so easy that a lot of people just, sometimes when things are so easy, it complicates people. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to review the back-to-school landing page sequence. I'm going to go over some images and banners. A back-to-school Groupon offer that if you're interested in, we can get you involved with that for back-to-school time. I wouldn't expect that much from it, not like a kickboxing Groupon, but, if you can get anybody into your school, if it's a child, if you're confident in your instruction and your classes, you should be able to convert them into a regular student. There's a lot of different theories on Groupon and whether it's good, whether it's bad, but to me, I just play the numbers game, and I try to, just if I get people in, I believe that we can get them to pay the higher level programs. Anyway, lead nurturing. I want to go over some really cool stuff with that. So the first thing is I'm going to skip Mr. Mershad so we can get him on the phone. And basically, timing. So back to school marketing. I just like to touch on this a little bit. It's all about timing. Anyone that is a marketer, and that we all are marketers as school owners and entrepreneurs, we know that timing is everything. And the biggest misconception that I think a lot of people have when it comes to things like that is that basically the people think that back to school time is over, like as the kids are starting school. So for example, I live in New Jersey, and let's just say that my school starts on September 7th. That doesn't mean back to school marketing stops on September 7th. Okay, that's not what it means. So that's really the kind of beginning. And the reason why I talk about that is that parents, and people, they need to, and the students, they need to get acclimated to going back to school. They need to get situated. So if you're wherever area you're in, let's just say that your students or your kids started back to school. Let's just say it's September 1st. All right, then that means that you want to still keep pushing, because as people start getting acclimated to their schedule, all through the month of September and even October, that's when they're going to be looking for an activity. Maybe they didn't play a sport. Maybe their kids aren't really doing anything productive. So that just leads me to the point of any promotion needs a minimum of 30 days, and I believe back to school is 90. In the past week, we've gotten at least 15 to 20 leads from the internet, and one of the things I'll be talking about later today is exactly like what's going on with my leads, how we're converting them, the strategy behind it. And some people, please don't take offense to it. But I just believe that, it's a lot more efficient today when leads come in from the internet or a birthday party or whatever, to have, a combination of someone calling them as well as an automated system that will actually either get them to buy a program, a membership program, an introductory program, or something. If not, I believe when you deal with high-value numbers, people will slip through the cracks. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But the marketing, when I hear people say that bring a friend days don't work, or to me it's just like, instead of saying it doesn't work, like, why don't you look at what you're doing? Maybe you're just not promoting it hard enough. Maybe you're not talking about it enough. And we're not talking about the email blast. It just goes out to your students and some leads, and you say, come in for Bring a Friend Day. So that's a whole other webinar topic alone. But that's my tip for you guys when it comes to promotions. One thing I like to use is the 80-20 rule. And the 80-20 rule, if you check out the Champions Way Facebook page, is that we're not always talking about perfect mind. We're not always talking about register for this. In fact, if you went on the Champions Way Facebook page, you would rarely see anything for even a perfect mind, SMO, SEO, any of our services, websites. We're not really talking about that. We're not really promoting that as much. We mix them in there. We like to give out content. We'd like to give tips. We'd like to get people involved. And if you check out what we're doing, that might help you, give you some insight. But if all you're doing is blasting everybody with the back-to-school special, and you're not implementing, forms of content marketing and just, your own brand, in there with hashtags and pictures of your school and, tips and testimonials, it's not going to be that effective. So the 80-20 rule just means that out of 10 posts, 8 of them should be for the consumer. That benefits them. The other 2 could be like more of a sales pitch or some type of call to action to get them to maybe be interested in your services or products. So takeaway number 1, hashtags. And for those of you that have been to my webinars, I'm trying to keep it very simple. And the thing is, Facebook now recognizes hashtags. Most of you guys are probably on Facebook, and if you're not sure what that means or why you do it, then I'm going to explain a little bit of that to you today. So the first thing is, if you look at this here, this is actually like my website, and if you want to check it out, it's championsnj.com or martialarts4u.com. But championsnj, this is my hashtag right here, this # championsnj. And if you actually click that on my website, it would actually take you to my Facebook page of where everyone is using hashtags. So the thing is, like, we're not. If you just started doing it, it's okay. You'll definitely be ahead of pretty much everyone else in your area. A lot of parents probably don't know what it is, but hashtags is a way to measure social conversation, and it's another way to brand your business and get people talking about you. That is the whole thing that you have to understand with that with internet marketing, social media, whatever. Is that basically now everyone bases their recommendations on what other people are telling them. Okay, just like referrals, but now it's all online. So that's how they talk and they communicate. So you have to be smart in developing a strategy to get your students and people to talk about your brand, and hashtagging is one of them. So, that's a whole other webinar that me and Shada, big shout out to Shada for helping me out. Shada's behind the scenes. She's our marketing coordinator, and she helps me with all the webinars. So Shada, big thanks to you as well for today. Sorry about that. I'm going to try to keep this quick for everybody because I know everybody's so busy with back to school. But Shada, we have to make sure that we book this, what a hashtag is, and a little more detailed webinar for next month. So that's a sample of what it looks like on my website, and I'll show you some screenshots of what you would do with it and how it will work. All right, so let's go to the next slide. This here is like my Facebook banner for my martial arts school. And I'm just trying to make it bold statement, like this is it, Champions NJ, the hashtag back to school classes for kids now forming, and then you have the little picture over here. So, just seeing what people are saying about that, getting, spreading that awareness to the students and to the parents as well, and promoting my brand. This is what I use for myself, okay, Sensei Nick, you see everything I do, whether it's some of the restaurants I go to, whether it's some of the places I visit, whether it's one of my motivational quotes. I try to mix it up. And I haven't had a chance to even be on social media or anything in the past probably 3 months. It's just been way too busy. I don't have as much time. And right now I'm just, basically just, using this hashtag for myself. I love haters. You can have fun with your hashtags. And in my office over here at Champions Way, we have the Seaway hashtag. I have a hashtag that says boss. I have a hashtag that says Perfect Mind. I have a hashtag that says Sensei Nick as you walk in. And that's something that I actually am getting made for my school as well, Champions NJ hashtag stickers. And you can move them all over the place, which is cool. So you have to be creative when you're trying to promote things like this. What does it cost you for a sticker? $4? It's very low-cost marketing. So if you're still confused on what a hashtag is, like this, if you went to my website and clicked the hashtag, it would take you to this Facebook page. This is a Facebook page. And it shows you, like, who's coming to kickboxing on Saturday morning, Champions NJ, Sensei Preston. And then this is what, is coming up. There was a thing here on, that I put on a discount as I'm cross-promoting with car washes and gyms and other local businesses, which is one of the other strategies I'm working on. I put on here another business, like a car wash, and I just used our tag. And there's probably some more in there now because we've been using this hashtag for probably about 2 weeks. But we like to stay ahead of the curve, and you don't know what's going to happen, okay, with Google and the way that they change their search algorithms, even Facebook and hashtags. Is it possible that that they could find out, and have some type of tool where people will search hashtags for brands? Well, they already have it on individual platforms. If you went into Facebook in the search bar right here, you could type in any hashtag and then it'll show up right in the feed. So that's the way people are searching it now. Twitter has the same thing. Google Plus has the same thing. Instagram has the same thing. Those are the platforms that use hashtags. Well, I mean, eventually down the road, imagine if Google somehow is able to do that and they're looking up into hashtags. Maybe they won't, but the thing is, people are doing it now, and it is available. So don't get behind the curve with the hashtags. I just wanted to give you a couple hashtag tips. All one word, Champions NJ, not Champions space NJ. Okay, that was mistakes I made when I first started using hashtags. Having Sensei Nick and having a space. It's got to be all one word. Please make sure no one else is using. For example, Champions, like that's the name of my school, but Champions NJ is my website. But when I type in Champions hashtag, I have pictures of LeBron James coming up, Dwayne Wade, baseball players, soccer teams, swimmers, basically anyone who was a champion. So if they put in hashtag champions, and that's not the most effective way to promote my brand, so it doesn't really help me. So we use Champions NJ. Put on your website, put in your school, put on your events calendar, put on your T-shirts. Realize you will be ahead. Hash on Facebook post, and this is the really great forum to get brand recognition, another way to promote your brand. So that's some basics on how to use hashtags. Takeaway number 2 was the back to schools landing page sequence, and the thing is we're making things very simple for our clients, trying to keep it really simple. If you notice I had the hashtag in there too, but people might not actually, if you don't have anything going on with your hashtag, but that hashtag would link you back to my Facebook page. We had the Facebook sharing options, okay? We have the hashtag that takes them to social conversation. We include a uniform or a T-shirt. Confidence Kit is a ebook, okay? And I love ebooks. I'm sure you love ebooks too, because if you're looking for something, mostly every brand now will give you some type of ebook that will show you the benefits of why they should, you should choose them. And ebooks are another great way of, just getting you to be the person that the consumer will sign up with. So what we did was we created a form, and we're sticking with the special that we know works. And we've actually even told people that we're not changing the landing pages. We're keeping them. These are the ones that convert the most. And a lot of times when people start trying to change it up, they ruin it, and then the conversion rates go to really poorly. The thing is, even with like free trials, you get horrible leads. You get people that are just not as into it. So what we do here is when they fill out this form, they do the 6 weeks for $99 for our back-to-school special. They get a uniform T-shirt, the Confidence Kit's ebook that I think is available tomorrow, and they get emailed this only if they sign up. And then as they fill out the form, it redirects them to something that says, wait a second, we know you want to do it, but instead of us trying to call you and never getting a hold of you, why don't you just buy right now and we'll give you 20% off. As you know, in marketing, timing is everything. And the biggest challenge I hear with people is that they get leads and they don't call them back, or they say that the leads are weak or whatever it is. Well, giving them the option to save money is always going to increase the chances of getting them to convert right that second, instead of calling them, emailing them, hoping to get a hold of them. So buy now. Now, buy now, we offer this through Perfect Mind, through Champions Way. All you need is an SSL certificate and a billing account with us, and then you're able to use this. And then from there, they click the buy now. It takes you right to their store, and that's it. They become a member, and they buy the membership. So this is what we're using right now. A lot of the landing pages that we're making for the current clients, you're going to start seeing the same option, like, where if someone registers, book me now. Like, book me yourself now, right through, so you have to be, the thing is, like, you have to understand that this is what happens with marketing. Before you wanted everybody to call, you had the phone number. Then it was like nobody wanted to call, they wanted information, so then they had the capture forms. Well, now, book me, buy now, those types of options, even a call now, which we use for people, like in case they don't want to use the buy now, it will increase it. So it's, you have to give them, more of an accelerator to get them to purchase something. So when you start doing things like free trial and then, whatever, it's a free, like, again, people just don't value free. It's numbers, not as much. So this is what we're doing for the back to school. We're not making any exceptions. This is how we're doing it, and we're going to see how it goes. The only difference is if you don't want to use the buy now, you can do call now. Option number 2 is if you don't use buy now, you can use call now or book me. You need an SSL certificate to use, and you must be on Perfect Mind 3. So the question is, like, how do you promote these landing pages? Because a lot of people just wait and hope the traffic just comes to their site, and that's just not going to be efficient. I'm not sure how many of you in here are actually using pay-per-click, but I really turn it up the notch around this time of the year. I'll go to a $1,000 a month budget on PPC right now, just for the next pretty much 60 days. Maybe I'll spend $2,000. And the numbers that I get are well worth it. I'll get at least 25 to 30 leads from pay-per-click, and if I convert half of them, to the 6 weeks, and if half of them convert, do the numbers, it just pays for itself 10 times over. So I mean, you really got to look at the numbers. Most people, we really got to start working on that with clients and even people that are in the business. You really have to look at the numbers and and the conversion rates and what you're spending. When you start cutting away from your marketing, whether it's pay-per-click, SEO, or anything, and taking away from that, you're really just, you have to do the math. I mean, and if conversions is an issue, that's really something that you have to work on. I have a solution for that as well, but I'll be going over that later on. But you really shouldn't be taking a cut back from your marketing. I mean, if you're not spending $1,000 a month on online marketing, you're really under budget right now. And that's really the minimum that you should be spending on online marketing. That's for SEO, pay-per-click, social media, website, everything. $1,000 a month is the minimum that you should be spending on online marketing. I was spending close to, I think, $25,000, $30,000 a year on print and everything, and direct mail, yellow pages, whatever. And the thing is, that a lot of people don't realize is that when you spend nothing on it at all, and you just keep going around and hoping to get leads, it's not efficient. It's just not going to work. You can't be afraid. You can't. It doesn't work with scared money. You can't be an entrepreneur with scared money. You have to take risks. You have to put money into your business. Email is another way to promote landing pages. Coming up with creative content. Mobile on your mobile phone, or if you're doing text message marketing. Hopefully, everyone here is developing a mobile database and opt-in with a keyword. If you're not, it's something that you should consider, because there's 3 times a year where you could rip it. Okay, with text message marketing, and it's really simple. The holidays, back to school time, okay, and the summertime. Those are the 3 times you can really, really rip it. Back to school time, you make a mobile coupon, you send it to your students, you ask them to send it to their friends. It's and then if you get one referral from it, and then one person signs up from it, it pays for text message marketing for the year. Same thing during the holidays. You're promoting to your students. Give them a coupon that goes right to their cell phone. Not everybody's on their emails much. Students, asking your students, and giving them the tools to promote your materials. Social media, which is obviously, an easy way to promote your landing pages. Blogging, the one application or the one thing I have up here that most people will not do. It's very time consuming, but blogging will drive more traffic back to your website. It's all about how consistently you do it and how effectively you blog. Cross-promoting, I know a lot of clients I've been working with, they've been asking me how I'm working with so many different businesses in my area, and we have a webinar coming up with that soon too, showing people how to cross-promote socially and through social media and internet marketing. The Confidence Kit, it's really simple. The Confidence Kit, we give that out to everybody when they sign up for our back-to-school special. So it's again an ebook. Some people were asking me, what is an ebook? Okay, well, an ebook is something that basically entices a prospect to actually convert. So when someone's not really sure, or if someone does sign up and you give them something that's really good content, what do? They share it. So if this is back to school time and you're signing up a whole bunch of 6-year-olds, and one mom is a part of the PTA and she gets some some 6-page back to school confidence kit, and she loves it, and she's going to, what's she going to do? She's going to tell other people. She's going to share it. She's going to forward it, and that's the type of stuff you need to have. People that have the Doc Center, or what we're now calling like our ebook center for ebooks. If you don't have that, that's a form of content marketing. You really need to have things like this, but a lot of people just think it doesn't work, and it's not that it doesn't work. It's that you don't use it correctly. So it does work. I mean, it's called inbound marketing. It's one of the ways to do it, and it's something that you have to really get into. The next thing I want to talk about was some of the banners for Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, just like little banners that you could use for back to school. Kids classes now forming. Here's one for Facebook that you could use. Here's one that we're putting on the websites of people. So for some of our clients, just take them to the landing page. This is like a Facebook banner. There's one for a Google+ banner. And then, okay, the next one I want to go over was the back-to-school Groupon. So the back-to-school Groupon is really simple. What we're able to do is we're able to get any school that's interested to be featured on our next back-to-school Groupon deal. I don't think you're going to do phenomenal with it. I don't think it's anything that's going to be like amazing, like 100 enrollments. Those kids programs generally perform poorly. But if you do decide to do it, you could email me at sensei.nick@championsway.com. If someone could put that in the text box, I appreciate it. Sensei.nick@championsway.com. There's only one option, and I'm going to go over with you. There's no, well, I want to change this, I want to change that. No, this is any school that does want to do it. I can get you on there for our back-to-school edition, but it's only under these terms. So the options for the Groupon are as follows. The first thing is the person on that's buying the Groupon, they actually have two options. They could do 6 weeks of classes, including uniform, for $39. So 6 weeks of classes, they can come twice a week for $39. Or 12 weeks of classes, including uniform, for $69. Now, like I said, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. Okay, so the value for the 6 weeks is really $118 to get it for $39, and for the 12 weeks, it's normally $217 to get it for $69. Okay, and the split is 60-40. There's no exceptions. That we have, I think, over 150 schools right now that are doing it. If you are interested, if you need help with conversions, I'm doing a whole other webinar on that next Friday. So I'm telling you exactly what we're doing, how we're doing it, how we use the countdown classes through Perfect Mind, what we're doing to convert them, how we use Perfect Mind to automate everything as well for the emails and so forth. So the next thing I'm going to go over, and then we'll turn over to Sensei Mike. All right, guys. So this is my latest thing here that basically I'm really proud of. This is our lead nurturing strategy. Okay, and a lot of people have asked me if they could have this. This is my blueprint. Sorry, can't give it to you. Property of Champions way. But lead nurturing strategy. Let me explain that to you. What it means real quick. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. Okay, so here's what I've noticed, and a lot of people either just don't follow up with leads, or they don't have a system to follow with leads, or their staff doesn't follow up with leads more than once. So they call them, and basically that's it. What we decided to do is to put together something for our SMO clients. So if you're SMO and you're in here, you'll be very happy, and this will be you will get access to this. But let me explain how it works. So the criteria is all based on if the lead is not converted after 7 days. So when I say not converted, Perfect Mind is the power if the person does not become a student. After 7 days, it goes into what are known as accelerator emails. So if you look at this over here, the way I've broken it down was when you see the clock, it means that it's an email that has a sense of urgency that says if you don't do this in 7 days, or if you don't do this in the next 4 days to take advantage of the special or whatever, then you're unable to do it. And the buy now means that there's a buy now option connected to the email. That's the link. We're not trying to get a lead to fill out a form again. There's no point. Like we don't want them to fill out another capture form and fill out. We want them to buy. We want them to buy or to book. So some of them, I'm sticking with one option. I think when you have too many options, it's too confusing. So it'll probably be directed back to a 1995 introductory special we set up in your store. So that's email number one. The second email is what others are saying. So that instead of asking you for the content, we're not asking for anything except for videos. And we're only asking for you to get us some videos of what other people are saying about your school. All right, and that's how that. So anyway, that we put together that email for you. Then we have another accelerator that goes out 21 days after leads not converted, and then another one that goes out 35 days, and then there's another one. Actually, these are in the wrong order right here. Oh no, I'm sorry. There's another one that's called an FAQ sheet that goes out as well. So basically, it goes up to 35 days. There's a series of emails that go out for the leads. Now, when the leads basically get to that point, and after 35 days they're not converted, we know that they've either gone somewhere else or they've lost interest, okay? So then from there, they go into what's known as a monthly check-in that's not so aggressive. It's more of a monthly check-in, and there's there's 6 of them, okay? There's six monthly check-ins. So, and then from there, those check-ins all have call to actions, but they're not as aggressive as the accelerators. So then the leads that are also that are in the system from birthday parties or from the web, then we send them. We actually set up automated emails that will send them to Facebook, to Google+, to Pinterest, to our birthday party. For those of you that offer birthday parties, we explain to them about birthday parties, to Instagram and the hashtags. And then we have some other options for leads, like a 2-for-1 special if they're a business owner, if they want to do a cross promotion, and bully prevention. So besides the leads, we also do it for the students. And the students, the lead nurturing or the student nurturing that we do is, again, birthday parties. And birthday parties are the #1 way to get leads into your school. So as you know, we want to make sure that all the students know about the birthday parties, and we start marketing it 180 days out. Then we do 90 days and 60 days. Again, the students, driving, and you see this here, to build social reach. So when this chart's completed, you'll see like a couple images on the side of it on what that signifies it's trying to do. And if you're not growing your social reach, then it's probably never going to grow. You'll be stuck at, I don't know how many fans or likes or whatever you want to call them on all your platforms, and that's just not going to be very efficient. You want to keep growing all of these platforms. So we're going to help you do that automatically, driving your students to Facebook, to Pinterest, to Foursquare, to Google+, to Instagram, to Yelp. Then we're also going to ask them 3 times a year to refer us people with professional written emails. We're also going to explain to them how the hashtags work and to promote our brand. And then we're also going to ask them to give away a gift during the holidays of a 6-week special to their friends. So that's the way the students work, all right? After we start the students, then we're working on the canceled students. We're going to make 7 attempts, I think it's 7 attempts, to actually get them to come back, 6 attempts to get them to come back. We're also providing all the SMO clients with a whole bunch of actual ebooks at no additional cost. I'm talking professionally written ebooks with the buttons that you can market, put in email marketing as well. But we'll be automating most of this for you, along with also automating a lot of the social posts that we feel are the most important to get opt-ins and subscriptions to your blog, your letters, newsletters, and so forth. So that is lead nurturing. This is a system that I'm telling you, as a school owner, from one school owner to the other, this will be more efficient than having most of your staff do what they're doing. They will fall through the cracks. They will forget to promote them. And if you don't have something like this in place, make sure you talk to me later. You can email me, sensei.nick@championsway.com. If you're SMO, as soon as we get the back-to-school stuff out of the way, this is next on the agenda. And the best part is, we're waiting for the developers to add our call tracking software that will be implemented in every one of these call to actions, so that way you can see the actual results. That's how it'll be able to be measured. Okay, so that is it for me. So now I am actually going to turn it back over to Sensei Mike. Are you there, Sensei?
All right. Sensei Nick, I appreciate you being patient with me there. Sensei Nick was at our event in February, and as he saw there, technology sometimes does not like me very much. So I appreciate you guys having me on the line here and being patient with me. So as far as back-school marketing, what I'm going to cover here is a system that we do and we've done for years, and I know a lot of you guys are in the school systems and you're getting in there and you're talking to the kids. So I'm going to address first, for those of you that aren't going to classrooms and doing these things, a couple things to help you get in there, and then also if you're already doing it, just a couple ideas to maximize the experience and the effect, of what you're doing in there. So getting in the school systems, the reason that is so important is it takes you from just being the karate instructor to being somebody that genuinely cares about the community, and it allows you to be more, and be everywhere at once, and be really highly respected in your field of working with children and people in general. And so it's really important that you get out there and do that. It's really easy to make it happen. I know I've been in school systems before where it was really hard to get in, or you weren't allowed to hand things out, and it doesn't seem like you're doing enough. But this is awesome. And also, if you create the system right, you don't even have to be the one that does it. If you train somebody else to do that for you, if you have the staff that can sustain that. So starting off, first step here, if you can click over that next link for me, sir. So the first step that we're going to do is flattery. Okay, if you can flatter the teachers, or you can get in with the administration, and it really goes a long way. Plus, it is kind of fun to be liked, okay, in your community. And so one thing we started doing a couple of years ago is the first day of school, we bring donuts to all the teachers. And it's not the first day that the kids are in. Typically, it's the very first day that the teachers go back. Now, you can do this even after the first 2 weeks of school have gone by. So if your schools are already getting started, you're not ready for this, you can still do it a weekend to school. It's still the same thing, same effect. But what we've always done is the very first day the teachers are in, and we just bring in, we call the school, we find out how many teachers are there, we just stop in, we bring that. We don't put a big stack of flyers or anything. I just print up a nice clean piece of paper with our logo, and it just says, hey, you guys have a great year. We really appreciate all you're doing from Ultimate Leadership Martial Arts. Maybe we'll sign it, my name, Michael Mershad. And they have to know where it's from. I tape it to the top and inside of all the boxes, and I take them, I put them in the teacher's lounge, and very, very, very simple. And I've had so many teachers look forward to that. The first day they go back to school, we've been doing that for 3 years, so they're looking forward to it again. So it's just kind of a real simple thing to do, but it puts your name on their good list, okay? And so when we get to this next step in a little while, then you're going to be top of mind, okay? The next thing is you could do a school supply drive at your studio. I know it sounds kind of obvious, but one thing that we're doing as a twist is with our fall T-shirt, which we usually sell for $20. They can wear, in class on some days. We're going to sell them for only $10 a piece, and it's really cheap. But what we're doing is $10 a piece with $5 worth of school supplies for back to school. So then we're going to take those, of course, to the school that needs it the most. But again, just a different kind of twist on it. If your belt testing is coming up, you can do $5 off your belt testing with $5 or $10 off, however you want to work it, but plug it in somewhere so people will actually do it, and it makes a more powerful thing to your current clients and helps them to get involved. You have no idea how much your clients want to participate in your studio, even if they're not students, even if they're just parents. So the school supply drive does that. The next thing you can do is the promo items. If you want to really step it up, get a bunch of stress balls made with your logo that says, don't stress out, whatever, and just get those to the teachers. Another cool one that I think we're doing in November is tissue boxes. We're just going to take tissue boxes with our logo made inside of them for the teachers, okay? So just different things you can do right there, real easy. One year we did the hand sanitizer, just a small thing of hand sanitizer attached to a message, to the teacher, hoping they have a great year. That sort of thing. So it puts us on the same page and not like we're just a business person looking to make money, okay, which you can do both. All right, second strategy, I'm kind of clicking through these here. So the second one is you want to really maximize your targeting, okay? The way we used to do it would be that we send a piece of paper to the teachers via the students. They would fill it out, and it would have things on there like how is this kid's attitude, how are the kids' grades, and then at the bottom it would say, would you like us to come in and do a presentation? And that worked all right, and we still kind of do that, but I don't target single classrooms anymore, and I think you can have more of an intimate setting when you do that. However, it's really, for me, it maximizes the experience when I've got 100 kids in a room versus 15 or 20 kids. So what I do instead, and I think this document will be made available through Sensei Nick here, but basically lays out everything that I'm talking about here in a lot more detail, is I always target about 4 or 5 classrooms at a time, about 100 kids. And I send an email off, and by the way, I keep track of this. I keep logs every year of the teachers I've visited, and then you can do this by going usually to your school system's website, and it has all the contact info for all the teachers, their email addresses, all that stuff. And don't abuse it, don't overuse it. But again, I just drop those emails in. I print off the list, so I know what teachers I visit every year. Then I'm emailing them, at certain times of the year saying, hey, it's that time of year again. I've got the full email written out that just says, we had this awesome presentation. We were with you last year. The presentation focuses on, focus, bullying, proper attitude, all this kind of stuff. And, we really like to do all of the third grade classes at one time. I have several open days in whatever next month is, and, just let me know what day works out best. And the big thing with anything, just like Sensei Nick said, you've got to follow up. You can't let it slip through the cracks. Just because they don't email you back the next day doesn't mean they're not interested. They are just as busy as we are, and when their school day is over, they're out of there. So just be patient with that, but really follow up. And if you're going after, let's say, second grade, all the second grade classrooms, if the first teacher doesn't get back to you within a week, then follow up with another second grade teacher, okay? Typically that really works, that strategy works really well. So again, try to get all of them together, 100 kids, much more powerful. You get a lot of energy in the room when you have 100 kids. The second thing is with this one, with targeting is, I lost my train of thought. The best grade that I found is third graders. When I go and do third grade presentations, I get more sales the following weeks and months after that from third graders than any other grade that I visited, more than kindergartners, more than fifth graders. Third grade is like the prime age for these guys to start martial arts training. And really they help to identify who they are as they go through elementary and junior high school. So as you'll see here in just a second, my system's set up so that I really focus a lot on those third graders at the beginning and end of the school year. So what I do is every Tuesday is my school nurturing day. So every Tuesday I come in and I email teachers and I contact them, I follow up with them. And September and October are fully focused on getting every third grade classroom. My goal every year, if I do one thing with these classrooms, it's to see every third grader within 5 miles of here, okay? Unless they're homeschooled, then they got to come to me. But we have every third grade within 5 miles is my goal every single school year. So September, October, I'm hitting third graders. November, December, focusing on second graders. January, February, focusing on fourth graders. And then March and April are first graders. May, I try to get the rest of the third graders that I haven't seen yet. I kind of skip around grade-wise just because that's just the system that's worked best for us. So again, September, October, third graders. November, December, second graders. January and February are fourth graders, and then March and April are first graders, following up in May, June, wherever your school's out, try to hit the rest of those kids. Avoid spring break week, the week before spring break. Avoid the week before school's out. Avoid the week before winter break, because they're going to completely forget everything that you talk about. They're going to forget your name and everything. So really try to get those key times when school's going on. There's no big breaks coming up. Again, follow up, follow up, follow up. All right. Last point here is make it powerful. You have to be memorable. If you're not memorable, they will completely forget you. So we click onto that next slide, sir, if you don't mind. So the big thing with this is you want to get involved, really involved with it. You want to prepare. We have a full script that I got to Sensei Nick of my script that I follow, pretty much to the letter, and that should be made available to some of you guys as well. And so, I really prep. I don't just grab it and go to the school. I come in for an hour before I have to be there, and I start reading through it again just to make sure I've got everything. I collect all the equipment that I take with me for it. Some of it is physical, some of it is just talking, but really a powerful script. And so know the script, but don't read the script. That's also really important when it comes to that kind of thing. All right? From there, handouts. Some of you are in communities where you're not allowed to. We're not allowed to do handouts, but I do anyways. And the reason is it is not an advertisement. What I'm handing out to them is an information sheet that tells the parents what we did. And the way I tell the teachers is, this tells the parents what we worked on today so that they're not nervous when they hear that a karate guy came to the school, okay? And so it really just kind of, I have fun with it, By the way, if you take yourself too seriously, you don't need to be around kids because you're not going to be able to connect with them. You can't take yourself too seriously. At the same time, you're not their little buddy either. So you got to find that in-between place where it really works out energy-wise for you. So that's a handout. Now, when they were really strict about this, I had to get creative. And so what I did was I went to the wristband companies that customized wristbands, and I got wristbands made that said Ultimate Leadership Martial Arts. Maybe they were like 10 cents a piece, 15 cents a piece, and I gave those away. I got thousands of them. and the kids are wearing them everywhere. And I tell them, as long as you're wearing that band, you're a leader, so you got to show, focus. You got to be a good student. You got to be, So it got them really excited. And I still see kids, I have no idea who they are, wearing those white wristbands that say Ultimate Leadership Martial Arts on them. So really easy to do if you're in a community that doesn't let you hand out flyers, because they can't stop you once you start handing those things out. They're not going to stop you from continuing to give them to the kids. So that's really, really important there. All right, so from there, you have to really be into it. That's really helpful with knowing your material and really being into it. Use your voice inflections. Make sure you're loud enough that people can hear you. Be animated. Don't sit down and do the presentation. Make sure you're moving around. If somebody gets a good answer, give them a high five. Have everybody clap for them. Bring somebody up. When you bring somebody up on stage, know their name. Just really just connect with them. Be into it. Be real when you're with these kids, because some adults can't spot a phony, but most kids can. Really important. You can also, another thing with the handouts is get custom stickers done. I know a lot of studios have gotten stickers done. If it has sometimes if it has your phone number on it though, or a website, they won't let you stick it on the kids. All right, so just again, think about that. Let's see here. Again, get the kids involved, get them up on stage, have them do some cool moves with you, give them high fives, nothing too crazy out there. And then the last thing is you always want to end with something powerful that connects the kids. This is my last point here, and again, we'll have some questions at the end of their time. Is really connect something to the teachers that makes them want you to come back every single day. And what we do is we talk about the 4 ways to show parents and teachers respect. And again, that's on the paper, but just 4 easy ways to show parents and teachers respect. Number 1, I just tell them, stop what you're doing and pay attention. Number 2, look at somebody who's talking to you. Number 3, obey without complaining. And I have fun with those. I tell them this stuff. And number 4 is show gratitude by saying thank you. And that's when I have them say thank you to the teacher for letting me come in. We do a big bow. We do a big, huddle, scream all out at the same time, warrior, because it's our warrior focus course. And then that's it. Just go back to my school and wait for the phone to ring. Yeah, so just basically the finer points I just covered right there, it's got everything written out here. And so, first day, getting the donuts out there. So just some ideas for the giveaways. This, if you go to the bottom there with the blueprint, strategize to maximize right there, that's the email I send off to them. And again, I customize it based on the teacher and based on if I've been to the classroom before or not, but that's basically what I send to them. So, just saying, hey, it's that time again, here's what we need, here's where we want to do it, here are the dates I have available, and, just again, always show appreciation. Teachers are awesome. You just tell them, hey, thanks for all you do. End it on a positive note. Yours in teaching puts you and them on the same side. So, yeah, there's that. That's the email I send off. Let's see. What else we have here? Yeah, there's the strategy right there as far as the system goes. So you got September, October, all your the months of the year, and you are just focused. If you just say, I'm going to call teachers, that doesn't really give you a plan. So the plan is every Tuesday for those, 2 months, I'm hitting 3rd graders, and then after that, I'm going after 2nd graders, then 4th, 1st, and then I'm following up with the rest of my 3rd graders. Cool, and then again, yeah, you can see that same piece of art right there that has the 3 areas we talk about: focus, attitude, confidence. Yep, here's the script that I follow, and we call it our ultimate warrior, just being an ultimate warrior. Get the kid to scream out ultimate warrior, and one side screams out ultimate, one side screams out warrior, and we just talk about how important it is as a warrior to be focused. Just focus your eyes, mind, and body. I make battlefield, stories with it. If you're a fighter and you're standing next to a guy that's unfocused, you're both in trouble. So you always want to make sure you're the focused warrior and focus around you. So, yeah, it's got focus your eyes, mind, and body. I think that's been around for a while. Awesome. With each one of these, I have the kids stand up and do something. So they, stand still or focus or move or do a block typically. I talk about how when they're focused, they get things done faster, and I tie it to our martial arts classes with a cool game we play like dodgeball. If we work hard in class, every day we play a game of dodgeball if the kids work hard and they're focused. And that, again, gets the kids excited. They love dodgeball. They want to come to your school now. So talking about attitude, talking about the proper attitude with the kids. They're in charge of their attitude. The fact that their mama doesn't pack them the right sandwich that day, that doesn't mean they can have a bad attitude. Have fun with it. Kids will appreciate that. Have them do an attitude knife hand. Have them hop up and do their chop, and they yell the word attitude every time they chop, and just show their attitude in a positive way. Cool. The last thing with the confidence is, I kind of have fun with them, and, if someone called you a truck, would you believe me? If I call, I pick a kid out and I say, hey, if I called, hey, kid, you're a truck. And, the kids have fun with it. And, if I told you that, would you believe me? Obviously not. And so if somebody calls you stupid, if someone says you're not smart, if someone says you're not good at something, if you're believing them, that's as smart as you believe it. That's just the same as you believing if I called you a truck. So that's kind of how I play that. And then I have them repeat the I can, I will mantra there at the bottom. So I say, I'm not sure I'm going to make the team. And they say, I can, I will. And then I'm not sure I can learn guitar. I can, I will. And I say, I don't know if I can earn a black belt. And they say, I can, I will. So really just tying that together, talking about how leaders are not bullies at the bottom there, and how leaders make other people feel. I ask them, how do leaders make other people feel? And they make them feel good. They make them feel powerful. They make them feel strong. Let the kids give you those answers, and just how important it is that if they are making people feel bad, they're a bully, whether they want to be or not, and how powerful that can be to somebody else in a negative way versus, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Or if you see somebody getting picked on, it's your job as a hero, as a warrior, to step in and stand up for them. All right, then the last thing, front kick drill, I bring a kid up that looks like he could use a pat on the back, and I have him kick the pad, all the kids clap for him. I raise the pad up over their head. This has never failed yet, okay? Hold the pad over their head, and they throw that kick up there, and I just let them know how good of an attitude it was because they could have quit before they started, So really kind of a fun way to do that. And then from there, I let them know we're going to pass out the paper, take that to mom and dad so they know that it wasn't just some crazy karate guy. It's okay. It was Mr. Mershad. Take that paper to mom and dad so they can see what they learned. Make sure you show them some of the stuff you talked about today. Let's see. That's it. That's ended on a big note. Have fun with it. And, last thing, I don't think it's on there. Get a picture with you and the kids and throw it right up on Facebook. Don't forget your hashtags, all that kind of fun stuff. But, as soon as you're done, or even in the beginning, however you want to do it, but don't forget to get a picture with you and all the kids. It just, again, shows the community just how awesome you are.
Sensei, when is your event that's coming up? Because I know that was a great event. I saw so many instructors and school owners there. Maybe you could put that in the box for your upcoming event. I think it's in February. Is that right?
We have one in February. We have one this month called our XP event. So we're just talking about how to build an experience out of the training that you do. So it's a school owner event Saturday, instructor event on Sunday, and it's an awesome event. And we have Kiyoshi Kovar coming back in February for our other event. That's called Ignition. That'll be, let's see, towards the middle end of February. We don't have the date on that right now in front of me. But I can definitely throw in the XP event.
Yeah, if you put a link in there in the chat box. And for anyone that's looking to train their staff and, just work on, teaching better classes and operations. And I was at Sensei's school. It was just awesome. Great event, just very passionate. That's the thing. There was no, just great information. And everyone, the energy there was just tremendous. And thanks again for having me, Sensei.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an awesome time. We got a lot out of it. And just use my last name as a discount code, and it chops it in half. So it'll be a great experience for you guys.
All right. Well, I guess at this time, guys, we have about 5 minutes for a Q&A. So if you have any questions, you could put them in there, and then myself or Mr. Mershad will answer them, and we'll go from there, guys. And a couple other things to make sure you know what's going on. Let's see, upcoming events. We do have a hashtag webinar coming up for Champions Way. We do have a big event coming up in November. You will start hearing some information about that next week. It's kind of top secret at this point, but it will be in Texas. So we will be having some information about that for you guys as well, but it's right now, like I said, it will be coming out probably next week, and that is kind of everything we have going on. Make sure you check out the new release from Champions Way. Check out our Facebook page. If you enjoyed today's webinar, you could hashtag myself or Master Mershad or even Seaway, please, on our Facebook pages. We'd like your feedback, but let's see, the first question coming in.
So first question, Scott Barlow was wondering if Champions Way could design a Facebook banner for his school.
Okay, what we do, to actually, help school owners that, that are looking to just basically get a basic design. We have templates in our library, so that way you can go in there and you could actually customize them yourself. If you like the things we have, you could just put your hashtag on there, change the images. But we have all the dimensions for you, Scott. That'd be the most cost-effective way. If you want to get a custom one, yes, you can get one of them made up as well. But I'd recommend going into the library, which I think Nima or myself can get you access to, and then from there you'll be able to just go in there and customize it yourself with your logo and so forth.
Okay.
I like to keep it. I'm sorry, real quick, Shada. I like to keep it simple. Like I think that the seasons go so quick. If you start, if you want us to make something for you customized, by the time back to school starts, then it costs you like $150. It might not be worth it. So I would just use the general templates we have. Sorry about that.
Awesome. Next question from Lorenzo. He's wondering how you do the Book Me Buy Now. I think you were showing the landing pages where they switch screens.
Absolutely. So Lorenzo, I'm sorry, it's just not available for you. So I do apologize, but anyone else is interested? I'm just kidding. I know Lorenzo pretty good, Shada, so you're probably like in shock. But Lorenzo, if you need help with that, Lorenzo and me were hanging out last time we were in Vegas, Shada. Me and Keith went over to check out help him out at the school when we were at the Super Show. So Lorenzo is one of our top clients, and Lorenzo, if you need the Book Me or the Buy Now, what you want to do is you want to call into support for the Buy Now. You will need an SSL certificate. It's $100 for the year. That's just to have online purchases if you're trying to do the Buy Now, but they could get you set up. So the best number would be 877-774-5425. I'm sure you know the number, extension 2.
Perfect. Another question from Daniel. He's in a small town. He asks, how can I use these programs for such a small town?
If you're in a small town, even if there are other martial arts schools, you want to separate yourself from everybody else, and you want to become the authority, when it comes to dealing with children, working with children, and educating them. So the best thing that you could do is, in a small town is even better, I think, is, volunteer, get out there and do field days. Obviously you can't go back in time, but from here on, look for opportunities to be there. And I think that'll really help as far as, just giving, again, identifying yourself and separating yourself if there are any competitors. If not, then yeah, just go small then. And, if there's not 100 kids that you can do, then just do, one classroom at a time. That's perfectly fine too.
Excellent. And just to add to that real quick, Shada, and if he's talking about the internet stuff, that's, again, it's another big opportunity. It's actually when you have less people to compete with for the space, so to speak. We're talking about internet space. So if you're in a small town and there's less people going to that particular space or search, organic search, basically it's a lot cheaper. So there's less competition. So you can get pay-per-click. You can get up there very easily if you're trying to do anything when it comes to internet marketing. So and local businesses, I'm sure they'd want to work with you as well if you're trying to do anything with it from an internet standpoint.
Perfect. And we have another question. How can I get started with Perfect Mind?
I would say the best way, to get started with Perfect Mind would be to call the sales department, 877-774-5425, extension 1. And if you just type the number there in the box, everything that we're explaining, especially the stuff I was covering, it's all available in Perfect Mind. Now a lot of the stuff I'm talking about with landing pages, that's a little more custom, but all the automation, the basic front desk software, the email marketing, all that stuff, the billing, the buy now, the book me sections, they're all available. So if you want a tour, the best thing to do would be to call, the sales team and schedule a tour to find out, just how it works and the specials we have going on currently.
Perfect. And then aside from all that, I think a lot of people are interested in getting the actual content from this webinar, including the PDFs and the scripts that were presented. So I've gathered a list of emails. So if Cynthia, Nick, and Michael Mershad, if you guys could send that stuff to me, I will make sure everybody who posted their email will get it.
Absolutely, Shada. And one thing to add to that is there will be a back-to-school kit that we're adding up in the Champions Way library. So basically, we will be waiting for the webinar to be recorded first. So I think, Shada, would be safe to say by probably Monday that'll be available?
Yeah, I would say so.
Perfect. So once that is available, we'll put the PDFs, all the content, the webinar, all into that back-to-school kit, and then from there we'll email everybody and they can just download it and have access to it.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. I think, we have one more question. Scott asks, SMO clients will have emails automated for leads?
That's correct, yes. SMO clients will. for leads, students, and cancel members.
Okay, and Daniel was asking for more information. Can they just email you directly, Sensei Nick, or should they just go through me and you want me to follow?
Yeah, I mean, if anybody has any information, that's no problem, especially the back-to-school Groupon. If anybody wants to get on that, you know, we're trying to help schools, so anyone that wants to get on that back-to-school Groupon, email me, sensei.nick@championsway.com. Any questions about anything, yeah, sure, you can email me back. We'll be on some phone calls. Whenever you email me, please do allow me a 24-hour response time. I'm just, you know, getting really busy getting everyone's landing pages and managing the staff over here. So I definitely will get back to you, but sometimes it leave me up to 24 hours.
Perfect. I don't see any other questions. So I just want to thank you guys so much for putting this webinar together and taking the time to present. Got a lot of awesome information out of it.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, Shay, well, thank you. And on behalf of Champions Way, this is Sensei Nick signing off. Everybody have a great day.